flawless and solid, just solid. I like it, this thing. God, it's so just, Hey guys, Chris at the Rockford Ordnance. Today we're bringing you a Galil pistol, IWI Galil Ace pistol. This pistol's in 7.62 by 39. I've always wanted a Galil. The Ace really intrigued me, and we'll get into the differences. This is a Gen 2. There was a Gen 1, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But for now, let's go through this thing kind of stem to stern and see what this thing's all about. So you can see it has a brace on it from the factory, SB Tactical SB3 brace, and it's got a detent here, so it's not flopping around. You gotta give a little tug to open it. It's got this bullnose adapter here, and it comes with the mount and everything already on the gun. It's got kind of a tiger tooth locking system here, so as you swing it open, that tiger tooth there kind of locks in. I call it a tiger tooth. Anyways, you see it's kind of long, and it looks like it's adjustable, right? Well, it is. I mean, that's open. Normally you'd have other positions. There's one position, and that's closed. Some guys have talked about, putting a regular M4 buffer tube in there. I don't agree with that because the law states you can't modify a brace. So there's your position. Length of pull is okay. It's probably a hair short for when I have my plate carrier on, but better than too long. When I don't, it's still very nice cheek weld, fits well, and it just works. It's got a Iwi pistol grip, and it's got a nice hump in the back here. Really lets you control the gun well. Top cover and all look kind of standard AK-ish, right? But it couldn't be further from the truth. You've got this pick rail mounted to the top, and when I take this dust cover off, how it mounts in the front, unlike other AKs where it goes in a groove in the trunnion, there's kind of a tooth again that goes in and lines that front up, and it can't move. It's rock solid. In the back, there's a notched into the milled receiver. Of course, we've got a milled receiver, and the back of the dust cover fits into that notch really nicely. This thing is not moving at all. I am darn near 100% positive that this thing is not going to cause any issues when later we maybe mount an optic or something like that. It's as solid as could be. So like I mentioned, we do have a milled receiver, really well done. No machining marks, smooth, everything fits so well. I really doubt when it comes to manufacturing that there's all that much hand fitting like there would be on AKM, something along those lines. Anyhow, yeah, it's just super tight. You do have ambidextrous safety, one here, so you can use your index finger, real simple. And then on this side, you've got the thumb lever. So you can put it on safe, go to fire, safe, fire, or you can go to safe and then with your thumb, fire, safe, fire, safe, fire. Kind of reminiscent of our Scorpion, the way I set it up. To charge it, you'll notice nothing over here, right? So you're not doing the underreach. Kind of nice. You can stay in the fire position, just grab that charging handle, charge it, and go. It is reciprocating, just like a standard AK, just on the other side. While we're over here, you can look at this. You'll notice, well, here's an opening here, right, where the shells eject. But on this side, with that charging handle that would normally be wide open when the weapon's charged, you can see there's a spring-loaded dust cover here that moves up and down out of the way when it charges. So less debris in the gun, all that good stuff. takes standard AK mags that I've found for the most part. We've got a Circle 10 in here. It's got a nice big paddle for release right here. These Circle 10s and a couple other mags, if you insert way up there, it's not going to lock and you're going to think, geez, this thing's not working. But it's hook the front here and make sure you're kind of pulling down on it and in, and it locks solid. No real wobble, anything. Super, super nice. Like I said, pick rail on top. The gun comes with no sights, and that's been kind of a downer for some people. But I just took a Midwest Industries set of irons and put them on there. So we got standard iron sights, no optics yet or anything like that. It comes with this M-LOK forend, all aluminum. So far I like it. It's thin enough, really thin actually. Obviously you've got the ability to mount things with M-LOK. Comes with a birdcage flash hider on it. 8.3 inch barrel. I thought we may have a little flamethrower here, you know, and yeah, it does, but just a really nice gun. We have shot it. I've got a couple hundred rounds through it, and I can tell you this has been flawless so far. When you shoot it, it's a different feeling than like an AKM or even a SAM or something like that. More along the lines of a SAM, but to me, almost smoother. For some reason, it has this more of a feel along an AR where it almost feels like it could be Legoed together, sort of, you know. Obviously, it really can't be put together similarly to an AR, but it just has that feel like you're not, you know, grinding, bending, adjusting, tweaking parts to get them in. More like everything's sort of drop in, if that makes sense to you. We have not adjusted the sights yet. It's fairly close to right on, but we're going to do that today and have some fun with it. There is a polymer lower here that includes your trigger guard and all, and looks okay. I mean, it doesn't really give it that classic feel, but not too bad. It seems certainly sturdy enough, and we haven't had any problems. IWI said they did reprofile this trigger. A problem that a lot of people talked about was that it wasn't long enough. It cut you in the finger, kind of. Well, I still get that feeling, sort of. It's still not long enough in my book, and it catches me right in the pad of the trigger finger. So while not completely annoying while I'm shooting, I definitely notice it when I'm dry firing and things like that. But we'll see how it goes. You can put ALGs in these with a little bit of work, and we will probably do that. But right now, let's show you a little bit on this trigger, if you can see. Let me come around here. So you've got some take up here. There's about, I don't know, 5 millimeters, maybe 7 of take up, and then you hit a wall, and it's right there. It's very smooth. Unlike maybe an AKM or something, you don't have any grit to it at all. Just super nice. On the reset, it's a little bit long, certainly longer than an ALG. And then the take up, wall, boom. But super smooth. I like it. It's predictable, working well. The Midwest Industry sights we put on, so far I like them. They seem like quality units. Maybe a hair high, but we'll see when we adjust it here. And eventually we'll probably put some type of optic on it. I don't know what yet, but it's proved to be fairly accurate. We're going to do a bit more accuracy testing here today and see what we think and see what comes of it all. I really like that pistol grip, like I mentioned. It just gives me that extra leverage. It's nice for stock furniture. Really, really nice. Let's do a little testing and get this thing on paper and see what it can do. Well, guys, today we're just shooting a little Tula ammo here, and brought a little shorty range mag, and we're gonna see how she papers here real quick. gonna go see if it's on paper at all. Well, guys and gals, elevation wise we were just fine, but it was a little to the right, and when I looked at it, the sight was moved over to the right. So moved a little back and we should be right on the money. Fairly an easy proposition here. Sounds really loud under this roof, doesn't it? But hey, what the heck? Kind of fun. Let's see where she goes this time. Got something in the sight. There we go. It's a peep sight, by the way. Let's go see how she did. So being as these sights are AR style sights and made for an AR, a little hard to get the bullet tip into this to rotate it. Had to get a tool, and that did the job. So let's see here. Good little glare. All right, I think that's gonna do it. And with that final tweak on the sights, there is our 3-shot group, 1, 2, 3, and I'd say that's good to go. Recoil is very mild. It doesn't seem all that loud for such a short barrel, and it's just such a nice, smooth, fulfilling, just boop, boop, boop. God, I really like this thing. It's interesting. It's just different than what we're used to. I'm gonna go see where those were. So let's run a bunch of it through here, should we? Flawless and solid, just solid. I like it, this thing. God, it's so just, Well, we did a little more shooting off the bag, and I tell you what, very impressive with Tula ammo. Something cool about this gun, I don't know if I started to tell you at the beginning or not, but this top cover locks into the front, and then there's a groove in the milled receiver in the back here, and it locks in there. That being said, it doesn't move. Matter of fact, to get it on, you really have to pound that thing, and to get it off, well, you better have something you can grab here to really yank it. There is a buffer in there, similar to any other AK pistols, not really a a long stroke rod, so to speak. You do have the piston, but it's right up where it meets the carrier. I did say there's a buffer in there. Other than that, that's pretty much it on the internals. I just love how this gun feels. It handles well. It's narrow enough. It's just very, very solid. And I think this 8.3-inch barrel at the end of the day, I'm curious to get on the chronograph and see what it's putting out, but it's not like an AR with a shorty where you're losing an absolute ton. I think it's going to be just fine, but it's just so easy to handle. I think it will shoot better with an optic. A little hard to keep these peep sights on target, but then again, we were shooting with the small peep, and you know, that's always a little tougher. But yeah, let's run a few more and see how this thing is. Maybe you can see some maybe you can see a little flame here. It's getting a little, we're in the shade. See, now with the bigger peep, that thing was easy to get, easy to hold, easy to continue to see, and blew the snot out of it. It's swinging over there. So guys, I kind of wanted to show you what the inside of this thing looked like, so you can get a better idea of how things work here. Make sure it's unloaded. Yes, it is. So just like a regular AK, you push in, and then it's about getting it out. So you can see how tight that is, right? I try to get it wedged there on the edge and then grab the sight and pull because it's really in there. There's our recoil spring. You can see the buffer there. And there's also like a rubber shield over it that'll keep gas from coming back at you if you want to suppress this. Here's the top cover. There's that little tooth there, if you can see that. And what that does is it fits up into the front gas tube and the rail of that gas tube. So it's like a jigsaw puzzle. It goes in and it's locked. Now, if you can see here, the groove here, there's a groove right in the receiver that holds the back of the dust cover. Fits right into it. So the challenge is to get this sucker on there because it's going to drop down into this groove here. It's easy to do now maybe, but you still have to, instead of hitting down, you really have to hit forward when the recoil rod is in there. So let's show you the carrier and piston. Kind of, you know, any old AK pistol except charging handle. And goes in the same way. So we get that in its place. Might help if I get this in first. Let's go. Believe it or not, when I hammer this thing home, it's better to have gloves on, but the rest of it is a little harder with gloves on. So we make sure the front is in there good, and then kind of line it up. You can leave this hooked on the inside of the channel it runs in. If not, just push it in under the cover, or here, bring it forward under the cover. Make sure that front's in, and line it up. Let's see if we can get this. Hey, one shot. Well, you know, yeah, karate chop. And it's down in there. That's not going anywhere. Well, boys and girls, that was fun. I want to kind of just give you my overall impressions, and then we'll wrap up here. I can't get across to you just how it feels. Even the report of the shot just feels so solid. I really like it. The brace, I like the attachment points. QD, you could put a sling here, and of course there's QD points up at the front here, or we can mount one along here. SB3 brace, you know, yeah, nothing wrong with it. Average. I do like the way it locks over, but you do have to, like I said, there's a gap here. If you extend it out, it allows it to fold right next to it, and that's much handier. So when you open it, it's that, ready to go. The dust cover and how solid this top cover is it beats anything out there from the factory that I've seen. The polymer lower, it's okay, you know. It certainly adds a more modern feature than the original Galil, and there's something really cool about the original Galil. The barrel length, I think, is more than sufficient. I think you can easily go 150, maybe further with this thing, and still have enough juice when you get there. I like the handguard. It's extremely solid. The flash hider does its job. It takes mags. I really like this grip, like I said. I like the charging handle on the left, and I really like the dust cover. The trigger, for a factory trigger, is extremely smooth. Could it be made better? Yeah, with an ALG. But as far as stock triggers go, one of the best I've felt. These Midwest Industry sights, although, you know, it doesn't come with any sights, so you have to put iron sights on it. They work okay. They're a tad high, so I'm not getting a true cheek weld. I'm looking right about here, so a little bit of a chin weld. It would be better with a little bit of a riser. I do think they will co-witness just about perfect with a Holosun 510C. Got a boring 510Cs. If you did a micro red dot, I've got one here I'm going to see later, but if they line up, but I don't think so. It'll be a little low, or the sights will be a little high, I should say. They are quality pieces, however, if you were to use them on an AR or something. I did it because I stated at the beginning of the video I wanted to go over something. You know, the Galil is what it is because of that quintessential look, right? And something's lost in the Gen 2. It looks a lot like any other gun. The sights gave it that look. The handguard gave it that look. Of course, with if you did the polymer delete on a Gen 1, it certainly has that look. I might rather have a Gen 1. I like this gun, don't get me wrong, but if it had the look, it'd be all there because it's an extremely well-built, well-put-together, smooth-running, feels great gun. I have no doubt we've probably got 300 rounds through this, 400 maybe. I have no doubt it'll just run like a Swiss watch. It's not missed a beat so far at all. Smooth, low recoil. I don't know what else to add here, but that's about it. I just wish it had a little more Galil nostalgia to it, you know? But hey, everything moves forward, everything moves along. You can certainly, you got M-lock versus the rails when you remove the covers on the Gen 1. Nice. It'll certainly give the SAM 744 pistol a run for its money. We just got to figure out what we're going to do with an optic here, and with an optic, I think this thing is a monster. I really do. Ergonomics are great. Accurate, from what I can tell right now, very accurate, considering just the quickie shooting we were doing here. But yeah, if I was going to, well, obviously I picked a 7.62 by 39. but it's available in 5.56, and the 5.45 is out. I think the perfect gun in the 5.45 would be the 13-inch barrel. Same with the 5.56. I wouldn't go this short. You want to take advantage of the ballistics of both of those cartridges. But in 7.62 by 39, this is it. I would add a rifle to the collection, because as good as this is, a rifle is going to be as good and useful for other situations. So that's my take on it. Yours may vary, and again, it's just one idiot's opinion on the internet, right? Anyhow, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping in. Check out our Tuesday night podcast, Coffee and Kalashnikovs. We're on at 8 p.m. Central every Tuesday, right here on Rockford Ordnance Channel. Thanks again for everything. It's you guys and gals that make up this channel and keep it going. So thanks again, guys. Be safe, speak your mind, uphold the Second Amendment, and as always, Rockford Ordnance out.